Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this broadcast for some very. It's hard. It's really hard for me to say it, and I have some very sad news to tell you. It's a little bit distressing. Sarah is out of coffee. It's a sad day. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. All right, stop the music. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, P. Dog Night. My sincere condolences to my friend Sarah in the chat, who is out of coffee today. I'll just have to take a sip of my reparations coffee in your honor, my friend. Cups up to you, everyone. Cups up. All right. Yes, that is a sad day, but yeah, everyone hit an F in the chat for Sarah's coffee. It's a sad day. Also, in the chat, you'll notice that I put my little Twitter link to my tweet if you want to retweet that, or if you just want to hit share right down there and send it out however you like to send it out. Yeah, I know it's going to be a rough day, Sarah. But anyway, good morning to the chat. Hello, Necro. Necro, please. Necro Collins, Max Del Rio, and Sarah Necro is first today. Izub and Tyler F. And who else is here? All you need. Check your logic. Hey, the gang is rolling in and Seamus Derby. Hello. All right. So I got a new feature today. It's a new feature, and it requires your participation is greatly appreciated on what I like to call, or I'm going to be calling, FTG Thursdays. Now, FTG, if you're not sure what that means, it stands for, all right, I'm trying not to swear as much anymore, because I know I have, there's people who are starting to watch my streams that I know that just maybe aren't used to hearing me swear. In my real life, I don't know. I don't really swear that much. It's funny because my kids growing up, my wife, the lady boomer, swears like a truck driver. She swears a lot, but I don't. I generally don't swear a lot. But it's funny because when my kids were growing up, my kids, if they heard my wife swear, it was like nothing. No, nothing. However, if Dad dropped an Effenheim, or even if Dad dropped a shit or a damn it, the kids knew it was real. And sometimes it's when you use them sparingly, they have more impact. So I try not. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, people in my normal life, offside the broadcast, aren't used to hearing me swear that much. Plus, I do get occasionally people who are in my life who just give me the side eye, which I laugh at when they do that. But anyway, not a whole lot of them watch this, so anyway, I'm not too worried about that. But anyway, FTG stands for fuck that guy. Okay, and that's my one swear for the day. So whenever occasionally during this show, I'm going to ask you to put an FTG in the chat. And in fact, if you want to, here's a good one. We've been talking a lot about Jesse Smollett that day. Chat, give me an FTG in the chat for Jeffy Smollett. All right. So, and then people will figure it out as they come in here later, because not everyone comes right in the beginning. But if you share this out, there you go. Yeah, give me an FTG for Jesse Smollett. Fuck that guy. All right. So, all right. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so you kind of get how it works. We're practicing. Hello, Reason Vision. Nice to see you. First, you're not first. Who was first today? Necro was first. But you know what? I appreciate your effort, Reason. I love it, man. I love it. So anyway, welcome everybody. Who else just popped in? Okay, that's good. But what does it mean? Oh, FTG. Well, think about that. Help him out, chat. Tell him what FTG means, because it's FTG Thursdays. We're gonna do this on Thursdays, because there's always a bunch of people who I just want to say, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. All right, so let's start here. So I have a handful of articles where this is gonna come in quite handy. It's gonna come in handy. Okay, and the first one is. Now, the picture you see on the screen when I change this over isn't going to be indicative of who that guy is, but the headline absolutely does. The Charlottesville car attacker pleads guilty to 29 hate crimes and avoids the death penalty. Can I get an FTG for the Charlottesville car driver, dude? Fuck that guy. Now, James Alex Field. But I do have a couple things to say about this. This is that's going to be a bit of an aside, and it'll probably make some people angry. And the guy deserves to go to jail for whatever, because that bullshit driving his car through a crowd is stupid. Yeah, there you go. Y'all are seeing how it works. FTG, awesome. James Alex Field, who was convicted by a Virginia jury. Wait, a jury? I thought he changed his plea. I thought anyway. James Alex Field, who was convicted by a Virginia jury of driving into a crowd during the 2017 white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, pleaded guilty to 29 federal hate crimes Wednesday, the Department of Justice announced. Now that's weird. Oh, I see. All right, so he was convicted by the Virginia jury. And this is so now okay, so he has a separate federal trial. I don't know how this isn't double jeopardy, but it's not. Whatever, I don't know. They changed, those rules are pretty flexible, it seems like. The charges each carry a maximum penalty of life in prison, so Fields will avoid the possibility of the death penalty. The charges included one count of a hate crime act that resulted in the death of a 32-year-old Heather Heyer, and 28 counts of hate crime acts that caused bodily injury and involved an attempt to kill other people in the crowd, the Department of Justice said. Now, this is interesting because, okay, hang on. Fields had previously pleaded not guilty to those charges, as well as a charge of racially motivated violent interference with a federally protected activity. I've never heard of that law, but that's interesting. But Attorney General Bill Barr, who is a Trump appointee, and U.S. Attorney Thomas T. Cullen both said Fields committed an act of domestic terrorism when he drove into a crowd of protesters in that August day. In the aftermath of the mass murder in New Zealand earlier this month, we are reminded that a diverse and pluralistic community such as ours can have zero tolerance for violence on the basis of race, religion, association with people of other races, and religions, Barr said. A Virginia jury in December found Fields guilty of killing Heyer, among other crimes, and recommended a sentence of life in prison. That sentence hearing, previously scheduled for Friday, has been continued to July 15th. Commonwealth Attorney Joseph Platiana said Fields' attorney did not immediately respond to CNN for requests for comment. So, okay, so yeah, we know that this happened. Everyone's seen it 1,000 times, more than 1,000 times, and all I have to say is, chat, can I get an FTG for James, or what's his name? Alex Fields, James Alex Fields. Give me an FTG. Maniac Man, actually, he's the cause. Whether she got hit by the car, which she actually did. You actually do see that she was hit by another person who was hit by the car, but in any case, he's the cause of her death. Now, the interesting thing about this is how the article continues. And I want to see if they have the statement here. Okay, so this is a CNN article. And we're going to read the rest of it because there's some interesting parts. According to the federal indictment, Fields took to social media before the rally on August 12th, 2017, and, quote, expressed and promoted his belief that white people are superior to other races and peoples, whatever, and express support of the social and racial policies of Adolf Hitler and Nazi-era Germany, including the Holocaust, and espoused violence against African Americans, Jewish people, and members of other racial, ethnic, and religious groups he perceived to be non-white. On the day before the rally, Fields prepared to leave, as Fields prepared to leave his home in Maumee, Ohio, to travel to Charlottesville, he got a text from a family member urging him to be careful, the indictment says. Fields said, "We're not the ones who need to be careful," attaching a photograph of Hitler, according to the indictment. Once in Charlottesville, Fields joined protesters that had gathered to denounce the removal of Confederate statues from city parks, chanting in chants promoting or expressing white supremacist and other racist and anti-Semitic views, the indictment said. Later that day, as Fields drove along the streets of Charlottesville in his Dodge Challenger, he encountered a crowd of racially and ethnically diverse people chanting and carrying signs promoting equality, the indictment says. Fields rapidly accelerated through a stop sign and across a raised pedestrian mall and drove directly into the crowd. Fields' vehicle stopped only when it struck another vehicle near the intersection of 4th and Water Streets. Fields then rapidly reversed his cars and fled the scene, according to the indictment. So he hit another car. Nothing to do with the car. Well, okay, look. This is not the article that I wanted. How did I get this article, not the one I originally wanted to read about this? It's interesting, the statement they made him sign. And I'm... if you're with Maniac Man, this is the guy from Charlottesville that ran his car into the crowd and it actually hit the other car. And I can't remember if Heather Heyer got hit by the other car or something. Anyway, she died. There were injuries. She died. The weird thing about this thing is the statement they made him. They changed this article since I pulled it up. That's what happened. Let's see. Let me see if I refresh it, if it goes back to the... Yeah, they didn't. They changed the article. Interesting. Wow. Oh, related article. FBI stats on hate crimes are scary. So what's missing?
Carnage in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this article... I'm gonna guess is bullshit. I'm gonna save that. I got like 20 tabs open. Anyway, so we got the FTG for James Alex Fields. Good. Bye, Felicia. Welcome to good luck in prison. The thing is, he pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty in the federal statutes. That's what the other article said. And then the statement they had to make looked like something that I don't know. Someone obviously wrote for him. But it was a long, detailed statement. I wanted to read that, but anyway. All right, then this is the next guy that I want to say, F that guy, FTG. So here we go. Now, if you're familiar with Jamie Kloss, it made national news. I don't know why, but this Jamie Kloss, she was kidnapped from in Wisconsin. Maniac Man, I'm sick of hearing about this because idiots keep pointing it out as some sort of gotcha. He didn't purposely drive into the crowd, so as far as I remember, the original story. That was the original story. And, some people were threatening him with guns. And also the whole violence in Charlottesville thing, that's what the article changed. And the article I read before, talking about Charlottesville, where the knuckleheads with the tiki torches on the day of the statue protest, it made it sound like they were there strictly for violence, and the protesters were just these gentle flowers out there, not causing any problem. And the violence, I watched live streams from that day because I knew something crazy was going to happen. And the governor and the mayor told the police to stand down because they wanted something to happen. I think, and I don't know why Hire's mother is not suing the city of Charlottesville and the state of Virginia for not protecting the people in the case. And the people in this case are both sides of this protest. Okay, the police basically stood down during all the fighting in the streets. And in fact, when they shut down the rally about the statue, and you're right, they keep throwing this in your face because it's the only it's one of those few man bite dog stories that they can throw in your face. You're always going to hear about, anytime people talk about anything about this subject, when you're arguing with them, well, they're going to talk about Dylan Ruth and Charlottesville, ignoring all the other violence that's been happening, political violence that's been happening, say during the election campaign of Donald Trump, when the Antifa fuckers were out, I swore, when the Antifa guys were all, attacking Trump supporters in the streets, and, the rally in Chicago that got shut down because of violence. And you're always going to hear Charlottesville, and you're only going to hear Dylan Roof because they're the few examples that they know of. Where I can give you 100 examples of left-wing violence, but this one ended up in a death, and that's what they want. I don't want to say this is what the Terry McAuliffe and the mayor of that city wanted. I think they wanted to be able to have violence happen so that it could be spun into their bad light, and they played with fire, and now there's a woman dead because of it. Now, this idiot, for whatever reason, he drove his car into that crowd, had no business driving his car in the crowd, and he should be put under the jail for that. It's even if he did it, even if you want to argue that he did it by accident because someone was scared him, and there's pictures of the bat hitting the car, and he slowed down, and then the bat hit his car, and then he sped up. It really, either way, he's going to be charged with, at the very least, manslaughter. But he injured a bunch of people with his car, and FTG, man, sorry. But yeah, this stuff's always thrown in your face. I get it. It's the one they have. They don't have much else. They could name an event every, they got to point to whatever they got. And I can point to 100 events where there's left-wing violence. In fact, there's a little tweet by Dusty Day. I'm going to go through the articles that he did, and I'll make a video about that because that's gonna be too tough. Good morning, Smarty Bear. All right. Anyway, Jamie Kloss, she was kidnapped in Wisconsin. By Jamie Kloss, kidnapper pleads guilty at a dramatic hearing. Patterson's plea averts trial in town's family nightmare. Barron, Wisconsin. Jake Patterson bowed his head and took a deep breath as the attorney leaned in and laid a hand on his shoulder. Then he looked up at the judge sitting in front of him and, in a trembling voice, uttered the word all of Barron had long waited to hear. Barron, Wisconsin. Guilty, he said 3 times, pleading to the brutal shotgun murders of Jamie and Denise Kloss in their Barron home and the kidnapping of their 13-year-old daughter, Jamie, in the dark of an October morning last fall. In a dramatic hearing that lasted less than 20 minutes Wednesday in a packed Barron courtroom, Patterson, 21, fought back the tears as he admitted to the crimes that shocked this town of 3,400 residents, some 90 miles from the Twin Cities. As a part of the plea agreement, prosecutors dropped 1 count of armed burglary against him. They also agreed not to prosecute him for any crimes he may have committed in Douglas County, 70 miles north, where he kept Jamie prisoner for 88 days, often under a bed, in the shabby family cabin where he lived alone. By pleading guilty, Patterson spared the Kloss family a painful jury trial. The plea may plea also means that Jamie won't be called to testify about her ordeal. Now, if you're familiar with this case, she escaped and found a neighbor, and she'd been missing for 88 days after this guy killed her parents and kidnapped her. And she escaped. I don't know. This is a big story in the Midwest. I don't know if you're all familiar with it, but anyway. And I won't read the rest. There's a lot of it here. This is the Minneapolis Star Tribune article. It was on the front page this morning, so I thought I'd bring that out. But as far as Jake Patterson goes, can I get an FTG in the chat, please? FTG. Fuck that guy. There you go. All right. So that's so much for him. This dude's a nutcase. Maybe has there a couple? Oh, you know what though? There's a couple. There's a part of the article I did want to read though. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna keep going a little bit. Judge James Babler scheduled Patterson's sentencing for May 24th. Before doing so, however, he explained to Patterson that his sentence could lead to life in prison for the killing of Jamie's parents and up to 40 years in prison for kidnapping the girl. So life plus 40. Who escaped from the cabin on January 10th. As Patterson was led from the courtroom by a guard at the end of the hearing, he turned to the courtroom audience and in a clear voice said, "Bye, Jamie." What an ass. Jamie wasn't in the courtroom, thankfully. Armed deputies escorted both Kloss and Patterson's relatives from the courtroom to their vehicles. Both families left without commenting. Police, prosecutors, and defense attorneys also declined to comment to a media horde that numbering in the dozens. And I don't know this. I didn't even read down to the smiling, nodding thing, but I don't care. FTG, big time. All right, next one. Here, I'm going to close windows as I do this. Oh, man detained for alleged threat to murder Trump, blow up the Pentagon, report says. On Wednesday, Interstate 68 in West Virginia was shut down for roughly 4 hours as threats were made to murder President Donald Trump and to blow up the Pentagon, according to WCHS TV. West Virginia State Police stated that a 42-year-old male was detained for questioning when police found a firearm and explosive powder in his vehicle. Troopers conducted a traffic stop about 10:30 a.m. for speeding in the eastbound lanes near Brewston Mills. The traffic stop resulted in an investigation that led to the shutdown of the interstate. WBOI 12 News added, State Police Captain Shalon Oglesby said that the shutdown on I-68 came after a routine traffic stop at about 10:30 Wednesday for speeding along eastbound lanes. Updates when available, but to that guy, can I get an FTG? I don't care. I don't care who the president is. You don't threaten to murder any president. I don't care if you like him or not. Not good. Get an FTG. Good morning. Functional. Good morning. Who else just came in? I saw another one. Brian Mullins, what's up, my brother? And Smart. I already said hi to Smarty Bear, so there you go. FTG for that guy. All right, next one. Yale is the first school to rescind students' admission following the admissions scandal. Apparently, this girl was admitted to the university as a women's soccer recruit despite having never played competitive soccer. Fallout continues to happen after the exposure of a national college admissions scandal on Monday. 12 defendants were arraigned in federal court in Boston. Now, Yale has rescinded the admission of a student allegedly admitted under fraudulent circumstances. C.R. Nugent reports for the Time. Yale becomes the first university to rescind admission for a student in college fraud scandal. Yale University has rescinded the admission of a student who was accepted as part of a massive college cheating scandal revealed by the Department of Justice earlier in March. Federal prosecutors charged 50 people for participating in the scheme, which employed bribery, exam cheating, and unearned athletic endorsements to help get applicants into prestigious colleges. Among the 33 parents indicted were CEOs, partners of top law firms, actors Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, a.k.a. Aunt Becky. Yale said in a statement that it believes women's soccer coach Rudy Meredith assisted 2 applicants to the university by giving them fraudulent athletic endorsements. One was denied admission and the other was admitted, the university said, adding that federal law and Yale policy prevents them from revealing the applicants' names. Bill Gallagher and Skegel McCooey of Yale Daily News have more. This act of fraud allegedly cost the parents of the students $1.2 million. Wow. That's a lot of money to get into Yale. On March 14th, the Wall Street Journal reported that Maury Tobin, a father of Yale students, they're not going to name the student, but we know that Maury Tobin, a father of Yale students, allegedly tipped off federal authorities to the scandal when he provided information in an attempt to gain leniency for an unrelated securities fraud case. So, according to the Journal, former Yale women's soccer head coach Rudy Meredith offered Tobin a bribe, which he denied. So, the FTG in this case, it's for Yale head women's soccer coach Rudy Meredith, but also Maury Tobin. So let me get a FTG for Rudy Meredith. The Journal later reported that on March 19th that according to a person familiar with the investigation, Tobin participated in the scam by paying a bribe. However, Conroy said that Yale does not know the Journal's source and cannot comment on the accusation's accuracy. At the time of the story's publication, the news has not been able to identify the source or confirm the allegation published in the Journal. One example of bribery cited in court documents, Singer agreed to help facilitate admission of an applicant to Yale, known in this case as Yale applicant 1 about November 17th in exchange for a $1.2 million payment from the applicant's parents in the spring or summer of 2018. Yale applicant 1 was admitted to the university as a women's soccer recruit, despite never having played competitive soccer, and since has had her mission rescinded. And let's just have a FTG for Mark Singer too. So there you go. Good. The young lady should be removed from Yale. Although, God, I wonder if she had any idea. Well, she had to have some idea because they had to take a picture of her in a soccer uniform. So my reparation coffee and a couple of FTGs makes my day. There you go. Nice. Lots of FTGs in the chat. Good. By the way, while you're at it, in between stories, oops, on this side, you can see me over here kind of in the corner. Down there, hit that share, send it out to whoever you know, whatever, and all that stuff, what we do here. All right. So there's, and I think I have one more FTG story before we get into Twitter trends. So here we go. I am right on schedule today too, man. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling really good today, guys. I hope you're feeling it too, except for Sarah. Sarah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were here a little bit after the beginning of the broadcast, we had a moment of silence for Sarah because Sarah's out of coffee. But I do have my cup of Reparations coffee. I am hoping that, Sarah, you are living vicariously through me right now. All right, one more FTG to go for today. And I'm going to make this a regular feature on Thursdays. It's going to be called FTG Thursdays, where we just say, FTG. Oh, man, come on, functional. Oh, tea time. I'm out of coffee too. Okay, I'm sorry about the coffee, but at least you have some substitute caffeine. Last one. Now, I haven't read this article, but I know kind of what it's about, and it's so let's see. How long is it? It's not that long, so we're gonna go through it because there's definitely an FTG in this article. The article, The Resistance Hat Trick, Othering for Beginners. Now, this is by someone named Christine Rosen. All right, listen to this stuff. This is good. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I do super chats, too. Just not through the normal, YouTube-style super chats because I am not monetized yet. because I don't have enough subscribers. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe below. I think everyone here is already subscribed. Otherwise, you wouldn't know we were on right now. But if you want to do super chats, that's fine. Because I try to read the comments, but I don't always get to them. So I have sometimes that super chat gives me that little bell sound, and then I remember, oh yeah, I want to read this because someone really wants me to read it. So yeah, Sarah just put that in the chat. All right. Anyway, the resistance is coming for your accessories. That's because, as New York Times columnist Charles Blow argued earlier this week, the very symbols of Trumpism, the MAGA hats, the wall, etc., are more than merely physical objects. They have long since transcended their original meaning and purpose. They are now emblems. They are now the new iconography of white supremacy, white national defiance, and white cultural defense. They are a form of white pride credentialing. Can I get an FTG for Charles Blow? Just give me an FTG. Now, and you know me, I'm not a Trump guy. Okay? I like some of the policies for the most part and blah blah blah, but you know, I don't dislike Trump. But Charles needs a big fat FTG. Good morning, Chicago Mike. Good morning, MC. Welcome. FTG Charles Blow. Okay, it's not just the hat. Even voting for Trump now makes you a de facto white supremacist, according to Blow. You know what? Maybe we'll go through my Who Am I Voting For video today, just for the hell of it. But, hello, C. Thomas. I did not vote for President Trump. I did not vote for Hillary Clinton. But I was one of those never Trump, never Hillary people. I didn't like either of them. I very well could change my mind by the next election. Just for shit like this. Okay, I'm going to keep reading and try not to blow a gasket because the story is more about Blow and not by Blow. So we're going to give you the blow by blow. But can I get another FTG for Charles Blow? I need another one. All right. It's not just the hat. Even voting for Trump makes you a de facto white supremacist, according to Blow. You know, there's a chance I might end up being a white supremacist. It's a possibility. I haven't decided yet because I might actually vote for Trump this next time around. I don't know. I haven't decided. I mean, my vote in the last election was a protest vote. This one, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, where was I? In much the same way that the Confederate flag became a white supremacist signaling device, wearing the MAGA hat and self-identifying as a Trump supporter now serves the same purpose. Wow. Blow is building on an argument made by the Washington Post fashion critic Robin Gavin, who called the MAGA hat an open womb, a firestorm of hate, and a marker of societal atavism. She asked, apparently rhetorically, has there been in recent memory any other item of clothing so specific in design and color that puts neighbors against each other and causes classroom altercations, sparks both rage and fear, and ultimately alludes to little more than a mirage? You know, biatch, that's because a certain former presidential candidate who should have been anointed as the first woman president lost. And so everyone lost their damn minds. And, I'm going to continue. This takes the clothes as cultural significant argument to a whole new level. Given convicts MAGA hat wearers of a host of sins, including white male privilege and violence and hate. She claims to wear a MAGA hat is to wrap oneself in the Confederate flag. Well, fuck off. How about the people who attack people who happens to wear a MAGA hat or a Trump shirt or something, or has, the violence has been coming more at them by far than from them. Is it, even setting aside the astonishingly simplistic historical assumptions that must be embraced to make this argument? Blow says the rise of the KKK and the rise of the Tea Party are equivalent examples of white backlash, for example. Bullshit. You know how many minorities were involved in Tea Party rallies? They only... probably the same... never mind. I'm not going to go there. Given and Blow's claim raises both practical and moral problems. The practical problems should be obvious. By Blow's and Given's reasoning, anyone who wears a Black Lives Matter t-shirt hates all cops, and anyone who wears a hijab hates all non-Muslims. After all, the cops have been murdered by assailants who allied themselves with BLM anger at police, and thousands of Americans have died at the hands of Muslim extremists on 9/11. Likewise, hipsters who wear Mao or Che Guevara t-shirts should be understood to be the disciples of mass murder in the name of revolution. Yeah, that's a good point. And what of the people who have made reprehensible arguments that women are somehow to blame for rape if they are dressed provocatively? Given, Blow, and their ilk effectively argue something similar, that MAGA hat wearers have only themselves to blame for any hatred directed at them because they are efficiently asking for it. If you take their reason seriously, that it should apply to everyone. Otherwise, Blow and Given must acknowledge that they believe only some groups of people, the ones they designate or agree with, are allowed to signal their identities with items of clothing. Not surprisingly, to those who might ask why these claims about politically polarizing clothing don't apply to feminists and their pussy hats or activists wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts, Given argues that those symbolic articles of clothing are not the same as the MAGA hat because they are worn in protest by the disenfranchised. Has she ever stopped to consider that some of the people who wore MAGA hats in 2016 were also expressing feelings of disenfranchisement? How about the coal workers in West Virginia who wear MAGA hats? Do you think they might have felt a little disenfranchised, or the iron workers in Ohio and Pennsylvania, and the auto workers in Michigan who wore the MAGA hats? Do you think they kind of felt a little disenfranchised when they no longer have jobs, and some snooty ass reporter in New York said, "Hey, maybe they could learn to code." Oh, but you can't say that to the journalists who lose their job, can you? Because then you'd be banned from Twitter. Anyway. All right. Many voters said they felt like the government and the media no longer represented their concerns and that Trump seemed to be speaking to them when he talked about making the country great again. And the other thing about that whole Make America Great Again thing. Do you think maybe, just maybe, when the president says make America great again, and then people bitch, oh, what do you mean? Like, you want it back to the 50s and you want it back to slavery and you want it back to Jim Crow and blah, blah, blah. When was America ever great? Blah, 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 blah. Remember that, yes, our country has its flaws from the past, and it has its flaws now. It always has. But it's also the country that fought a war, not entirely, but very much so, over slavery and abolished slavery. It, in a short existence, the changes that this country made to try to include more and more people into the American dream, and the fact that even in times when supposedly the American dream was reserved for special people, aka white people, which it really wasn't. I always go back to this. In my family that I was adopted in, okay, my family, I was raised in a black family, and my mother's father, my mom's father. My mom is my mom that I grew up with. My mother is my mother that was born to. My mom's father, a black man in St. Louis, which was wasn't a very racially friendly town. My grandfather, a black man, went to the University of Omaha and got a law degree during the Great Depression. Got his law degree in 1930. How could that happen in America? I mean, that's amazing. My parents, during the 60s, when they adopted me, I got adopted in 68, just before my 4th birthday. And my parents, they never mind. I'm not going to go into my family story. I'll do a video about it someday. But my parents, both have master's degrees. They helped develop a neighborhood in a suburb because when they went to look for houses, when there actually was a system of redlining, my parents said, "Well, fuck it, we'll go make our own neighborhood then." And they went in an unincorporated neighborhood just outside, literally on the city limits line, incorporated their own neighborhood and created their own neighborhood. And it was a mixed race neighborhood, which is unusual, but they did their own, and then that eventually got annexed, and my mother still lives there 50 years later. Just so we could go to better schools. And so we went to better schools and had more opportunities, because it wasn't that schools were bad, it's just that the attitude was bad around where we lived. So my parents didn't like to see the kinds of friends we were going to end up growing up with, and said, "Hey, let's get out of here. Let's go somewhere where our kids are going to achieve, like we did. Like my grandfather did. Like my great-grandfather did. Anyway, enough of that. Anyway, back to this thing. Can I get it? Anyway, you got the gist. I want one more FTG for Charles Blow. What? Give me an FTG. Hi, Lord Rothschild. Welcome to the show. What do we got here? Wow, you're chatting up a storm all of a sudden. Wow, labels divide and conquer. Yeah, I'm tired of the divide and conquer. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I need an FTG for Charles Blow. Enough of this. Let's get on to happier things. Let's get on. I did my little soliloquy there. I wasn't even on the screen. Let's get into some fun things now. Okay, so anyway, that's our new feature on Thursdays. FTG Thursdays. Come back for the FTGs. All right, enough of these MFers. Let's get into Twitter trends, because we're running now. My little tangent had me, how long did that take? Oh, I'm still doing all right. We got plenty of time. Good. We'll have some fun with Twitter trends today. Now, interesting. Well, this isn't interesting, because you know what today is? Today is opening day in Major League Baseball. And that is the number one Twitter trend today, is opening day. Poof. There we go. And the top guy on here says Jesse Kelly is someone who's been a lifelong fan of the Astros since they won the World Series a couple years ago. Wait a minute. Now, I don't know if Jesse meant to structure that sentence that way, but that's actually kind of funny. Listen to this again. As someone who's been a lifelong fan of the Astros since they won the World Series a couple years ago, I'm ready for them to take it back and to have more family fun at the ballpark this year. That's kind of funny. That's hilarious. I'm pretty sure he did that on purpose. I see what you did there, Jesse Kelly. I see what you did there. So we got a lot of tweets of people heading out for opening day. Okay, this guy's doing a Fox segment. Opening day, everyone's happy about baseball season. I'm not the hugest baseball fan, Although living in the Twin Cities, there's a lot of baseball stuff going on. Living in the Twin Cities, our new baseball park for the Twins, new Target Field, is fantastic. A fantastic place to watch a baseball game. Also, we had the largest crowd for a Division III football game. They played a Division III football game. The University of St. Thomas versus St. John University, two local schools. That is one of the biggest rivalries in Division III football and basketball. They had their game at Target Field last year, and they had 33,000 people at a Division III college football game. If you understand what that means, a really huge crowd at a Division III college football game would be 1,000 people. They had 33,000 people at a Division III college football game. But that game used to average 10 to 15,000 every year for that game. It's such a huge rivalry in Division III. This year they're going to have it at the new professional soccer stadium in the Twin Cities, so that'll be interesting. I don't think it'll be that big of a crowd though, but it'll be big. It's the Tommy Johnny game is the thing in Division III. All right. Anyway, so opening day for baseball. Lots of cute pictures, and everyone's excited for baseball. If you are a baseball fan, you are a happy person today. Welcome to opening day. Number 2. Thursday thoughts. Thoughts, not thoughts. The top thought of the day is from Mrs. Pinky Thoughts. And it's a big blue space of nothing. There's no thought there. So I'm not sure what she was trying to do here. So let's try the second one. Dr. Amir Khan, GP. The best prescription I gave today was to an 11-year-old lad. No Minecraft or Fortnite for 2 weeks, doctor's orders. Addictive computer games impacting his life. I even wrote it on a prescription pad and signed it. Good luck to the pharmacist who gets that. He's got a little laughing, smiling emoji there. I think that's a pretty good... That's actually pretty funny. I wonder if the boy will follow the prescription, or if his parents will make him follow it. That's very funny. Okay. And let's see if we can do one inspirational thought. Let's try this one. Good morning. Wishing you all a great day. Take care always, whoever Dave71 is. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Now that's a nice thought. Okay, so there we go. We got our Thursday thought of the day. Although I do think the prescription to the 11-year-old is pretty funny. That's good. Do not give me an FTG for that guy. All right, moving on. Let's see. Everybody. Number 3 is everybody's in. I don't know what that means. Oh, this has changed already. This has changed significantly since I opened this morning. There's a lot of new stuff going on. All right, here we go. Number 3, everybody in. Oh, that's a baseball thing. It has to do with the Cubs. Apparently that's I'm like, everybody in. That's a Cub thing. Any Cubs fans in the chat? All right. What the hell is that? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, so that's something Cubs fans would understand. Time to fly. That's a Cardinal fans thing. Apparently, there's going to be a lot of baseball things there. Oh, the great Ozzie Smith, one of the great infielders and players of all time. All right, cool. So there you go. That's something. Time to fly is something for the Cards fans, the birds, those birds. All right, WOW Air. Why is WOW Air in the news? Passengers have been advised to check flights with other airlines after WOW Air has gone bust and cancels all flights. Interesting. Wow, travel alert. Here, let's look at this. So there's a travel alert from WOW Air. This end of operation of WOW Air. Never even heard of it, but whatever. Information for WOW Air passengers. WOW Air has ceased operations. All WOW Air flights have been canceled. How will I reach my destination? Passengers are advised to check available flights with other airlines. Some airlines may offer flights at a reduced rate, so-called rescue fares, in light of the circumstances. Information on those airlines will be published when it becomes available. What are my rights? Passengers whose ticket was paid and a credit card are advised to contact their credit card company to check whether a refund of the ticket cost will be issued. Well, that sucks. That sucks. Passengers who bought their ticket from a European travel agent with the European Economic Area, within the European Economic Area, as a part of a package tour, a package which includes flight and accommodations or other services, are protected by the Package Travel Directive. Those passengers are advised to contact their travel agent to arrange an alternative flight. Passengers who may have bought travel protection, or those passengers whose credit card terms may include such protection, may be entitled to claim compensation and assistance due to delays or travel disruption. However, such compensation is often limited. Passengers may be also entitled to compensation from WOW Air, including in accordance with European regulations on air passenger rights. In case of a bankruptcy, claim should be filed to the administrator/liquidator. Wow. Can I get an FTG for WOW Air? Boy, later, Lord Rothschild. Are you leaving? Oh, wait, what? You're straight. Okay. All right. And Sarah, Sarah, we'll see you later. All right. Thank you. I know I stream at a kind of a tough time, people. A lot of people got to work. But anyway, yeah, give me an FTG for WOW Air. Fuck that guy. That's a bummer for whoever. I've never heard of it, but I don't want to be a passenger on WOW Air, I guess. A lot of people have been stranded. They're known for cheap transatlantic fares, and they ceased operations. Sympathy with staff and stranded travelers, as well as forward bookings. Yeah, if you already went somewhere on WOW Air and have to get back, that's got to be interesting. Oh, it's from Iceland. I'd never heard of it. Apparently, they cheap transatlantic flights. All right. Ultra low cost. All right, WOW Air, bye-bye. Jordan Bell suspended for game against Memphis Grizzlies. He plays for the Golden State Warriors. Don't know why. Citing conduct detrimental to the team. Okay, so the team suspended him. All right, whatever. Miramar. What's going on in the Miramar? Oh. Okay. Wayne Messam, mayor of Miramar, Florida, announces 2020 presidential bid. So he's the 19th candidate? That's Wayne Messam, the mayor of Miramar, Florida, announced that he will seek the Democratic nomination for the 2020 presidential election, which means now he can fundraise, I guess. Who is this dude? Anyone ever heard of? I might need an FTG for him. Okay. Oh, he's got an ad. He's here. Let's watch Wayne Messam's ad for.
I grew up in the place they call the Muck. My mother and father came here to the United States from Jamaica. My father was a contract sugarcane cutter, very hard, intense labor with machetes to cut the sugarcanes in the hot sun in South Florida. You know, I can see him looking around in these fields, envisioning that his children would be successful one day and they wouldn't have to suffer the way that he suffered. Well, I'm passionate about the American dream because it's not a fictitious thing for me, it's real for me. Went to Florida State on a football scholarship. The legendary coach Bobby Bowden and won a national championship there. Started a construction business with my wife. We were recognized by the United States Green Building Council for building the first LEED Platinum school in the Southeast United States. I became the first African-American mayor of the city of Miramar when I unseated a 16-year incumbent. The city of Miramar actually was able to beat out China and bring jobs to our city. The problem in America, as I see it, is that we are not addressing these high-stake problems that we must deal with today. When you have a senior citizen who can't afford her prescription medicine, Washington is broken. When our scientists are telling us if we don't make drastic change,
I think our I don't know that that's the case. I think our values are broken. I don't, anyway, let's watch the rest of this.
Changes today. The quality of our air will be in peril. Washington is broken. Everyday people are graduating from universities with crippling debts.
And that's that's a sore spot with me. We've brainwashed our society into thinking that any college degree is good. No. And the problem is the universities, because they've conned everyone into this game, allow people to run up debt. The universities are one who running up the debt because they keep the prices of going to college compared to the inflation rate is almost 3 times the inflation rate over the last 30 years, 3 or 4 times the inflation. It's ridiculous. If my kid did not get a scholarship to the school he was going to, we would have shopped a hell of a lot more and found something that made sense. But my kid, my son and my daughter both, my daughter went to a less expensive school because her major was going to be theater, and we didn't want her to have any debt when she left school. My son went to a way more expensive school because he got a scholarship there, but he studied computer science, so he's getting out of school with a job that's going to pay him to pay the minute. He's got a very little loan debt because it was only a tuition scholarship, but we took some loans out for his room and board, and then Lady Boomer and I paid the rest. But he's in a field where he's going to make good money. He's not taking, anything that ends in the word studies. You know my theory on that. If you're going to Harvard, paying $72,000 a year to major something that ends in studies, you might want to start studying menus, and you're going to have some student loan debt up the yin yang. And I'm not talking about yang yang gang. Anyway, wait a minute. Let's finish this ad. I like the tone of his ad though.
Stifling their opportunity for financial mobility. That is what's broken.
Yeah, that's because or if you're taking a major that don't do nothing when you get out of school, not just because you got the brainwashing about you have to have a degree to make it in America is just BS. And in fact, what's going to happen is the people who can do things with their hands are the ones who are going to, who are going to maybe go to a trade school or doing apprenticeships or things like that. Those are the jobs that it's going to be harder to go away. There's not a lot of automation that to wire electricity through my house. Okay. My brother-in-law makes a great living sanding drywall. There's no automation for where he does. He has some tools that make it easier for him. But if you're building a house and sanding drywall, there's no machine that can go around and do that, because it takes an eye and it takes a skill. There's a lot of trades that, the plumbers make great money. There's no automatic machine that says, okay, there's your plumbing problem, and then here's how you fix it. And there's nothing to do it. Yes, there is. Well, in some things, not everything. Anyway, let's finish this ad, and then I'll.
With this country, America belongs to all of us. The promise of America belongs to all of us. That's why I'm going to be running for president, to be your champion.
Oh, I know
there's the same prospects of the American dream that my father was able to.
There's also giant, they have these giant 3D printers that build houses too, made out of a concrete house. They're actually pretty cool. Actually, probably a good solution in the third world, or even, if you're trying to build inexpensive housing, low income housing, whatever. Yeah, so if you're wondering who I'm talking to Lord Rothschild in the chat. Anyway, here we go.
To achieve, we need to bring that back for every American.
Okay, I like his ad. I got to be honest. I do like the guy's ad. Don't know a damn thing about him other than he's trying to get the Democratic nomination. And unfortunately, he's going to be you know, I mean, in the Democratic Party, it doesn't hurt that he's black. But he's his campaign. I can't see it going anywhere. But you know what? I didn't see Trump's campaign going anywhere. So who am I to know? I don't know nothing. Anyway, I heard that dingy sound. Hopefully, let's see what it is here. It is. Thank you very much. Your peasant C. Thomas donated $2. Universities are a sham, and higher education nowadays are nothing more than activist indoctrination or adult daycare. My generation got had, and it's sad, and these kids love it. Also, gender studies is not a real class. Changed my mind. All hail the blue whale. I can't remember the thing for that. But yeah, you know what? See, Thomas, right on. I can't knock higher education completely, but man, it's not. Your mind is just something that you're supposed to strengthen, but you still got to do work when you get done. You got to do something. So, yeah, give me an AHBW in the chat. Okay, so that's interesting that he's trending that high though. He's trending 8. So people are talking about him. Brunei, oh gosh. Brunei to punish adultery and gay sex with death by stoning. Oh man. Very interesting. Very interesting. You know, let's see if how the culture warriors are going to take that. You know, there is oppression in the world. Where the hell's that tab? There it is. Let me see here. Let's kick on Brunei here. Is that why they're trending? Of course, Titanium McGrath is the top tweet on this. Before all you Islamophobes freak out, read the full article. It clearly states that the death sentence will only apply to Muslims. So if you're a gay Muslim in Brunei, just convert to a different religion. I'm sure they'll be fine with that. Oh, the dude who writes this, Titanium McGrath. Now because they know who he is now. I don't know what's going to happen. Someday this, I'm surprised because I don't know if it's the same guy who does Jeffrey Elwick. Or Godfrey Elwick, who's also a funny one. But yeah, here it is. So here's Time Magazine. I was trying to find an article that I could read instead of the New York Times, which sucks. Gay sex about to be punishable with stoning, death by stoning in Brunei. Brunei has announced that the punishment for gay sex and adultery from April 3rd onward will include death by stoning as the country moves forward with its implementation of Sharia law. Bubba Hotep, what's up, man? How are you doing? And Prophet Drunk, welcome back. Other harsh punishments like amputations of a hand and foot for theft will also be put in place, according to The Guardian. To legalize such cruel and inhuman penalties is appalling of itself, Rachel Cha Howard, Brunei researcher at Amnesty International, said in a statement to The Guardian. Homosexuality is already illegal in Brunei, but had previously been punishable by prison, according to The Guardian. The death penalty will reportedly apply to only Muslims for homosexual sex. Okay, that's why Titania McGrath's tweet explains her tweet. The majority Muslim Southeast Asian nation introduced Sharia law in 2014, but has been slow to enact new rules given harsh international criticism. That is purely frightening. That is purely frightening. I wonder. Oh, that's a good question. Scribe, I suppose Trump shouldn't speak out against this. After all, calling to decriminalize homosexuality worldwide is an old racist tactic. Yeah, that. Yeah, if Trump says it, boy, someone's got to disagree with it, no matter how much sense it makes, right? Unfrickin' believable. So yeah, let's see. opinion, new Sharia law threatens LGBT and people with death by stoning. This human rights abuse can't be ignored. Well, what do you want us to do, Independent? How would the Independent like us to fight this great injustice in Brunei? Rich Grinnell, he's the I think he's the ambassador to the UN, and he is one of the gay cabinet. What is he? I mean, I know he's gay, but he's a Trump appointee. What? Trump appointed a gay man to something? Amazing. This new violates the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It should be widely condemned. Hell yeah, it should be condemned. You know? Oh, man. Piers Morgan. My God, how can such medieval bigoted barbarism still be allowed on planet Earth? Shame on Brunei and shame on you, Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah. I hope the civilized world unites in condemning this outrage. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to click Piers Morgan's tweet because there's a lot of people who hate Piers Morgan strictly because Piers Morgan often defends President Trump. So let's just take a quick peek into Piers Morgan's comments. Now, he's not quite getting a ratio, though it's going to be close. I'm sure that he will be, because Piers Morgan is, well. Anyway, let's just take a quick look into Piers Morgan's comments on this particular tweet. And okay, so the first one, good. It's disgusting that they are doing this, but what difference is it going to make if the civilized world condemns it? They rightly will, but unfortunately, Brunei won't give a shit, and they don't care what we think. Okay, that's sensible. Raleigh, I suspect you know the answer to your own question, Mr. Morgan. Okay. Oh, no, this guy's an ass. Okay. He says, I think one concrete block would do the job faster. That's wrong. That's terrible. It's extremely scary in this day and age. Okay, so I guess people aren't dragging Piers Morgan, I guess. Oh, except then this guy says, next up, Birmingham. I'm from Birmingham, and I'm confidently say you're 100% correct. If you're not familiar, Birmingham is kind of where there's a ton of their influx of Muslim immigrants, and some people claim that Birmingham is probably more than half Muslim now, and so that's a very contentious thing to say. Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah. Interesting. Okay, that's funny. Religion of peace, comma. All right. Unfortunately, folks, I have to take one small break here. I will be back in about, hopefully, just 60 seconds. I apologize for the delay. I have to answer this doorbell, but it won't take long. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, sorry. I apologize for the interruption. So a piece of siding, we just put new siding on our house, and a piece of siding fell off in the middle of winter. So the guy came here to fix it, and I didn't want him to go away before I could give him the piece that was sitting in our garage. So I'm back. Anyway, back to Twitter trends. The life of P-Dog. All right. Oh, and Hate Camel, what's going on? Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. All right. Back. So anyway, I thought for sure that Pierce Morgan would be being dragged. I'm sure if I went down his timeline that he'd be getting dragged more for that. Anyway, any really good ones? Yeah, this is a human rights atrocity, and anyone involved in seeing this law implemented should face the same punishments of former Nazi war criminals. Brunei is set to impose a law that will punish gay sex by death, by whippings and stoning. It's awful, and it'll be interesting because I'm sure Trump will tweet something about this, and the crassest. Oh, let's see, Tariq Nasheed. People are talking about, oh God, Tariq Nasheed, you fucking asshole. Okay, Tariq Nasheed. People are talking about the strict new laws in Brunei that are punishable by death. Let's not forget here in the United States that it's legal for a white person to kill a black person simply for being black. Can a guy get an FTG for Tariq Nasheed, please? Give me an FTG, please. What's up, Johnny Hellcat? FTG, Tariq Nasheed, everybody, all at once. FTG. Good God. I don't know if President Trump has tweeted about this, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get things like Tariq Nasheed put in here. Anyway, yeah, this one has the potential to be the #1 trending thing by sometime during this day. I think it really will. That's just awful, man. But you know what? We knew that in some countries where they have those types of laws, it's not unique to Brunei. Wow. It's just that they weren't that way before. They're implementing these after April 3rd. So if you're gonna, no, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. That's not even funny. I'm not even gonna say it. Just get your freak on before April 3rd in Brunei. Or if you're not Muslim, hey, you don't got to worry about it. Apparently, Wayne Messam moved down to 11, but he's okay. So he's in there twice. He was 8. Okay, this changed again, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going south on this. Alt-right. Oh, good God. So the New York Times has an opinion article. There's a reason video games are such fertile ground for white nationalist recruitment. God! Are you fucking serious? They're running this whole narrative into the damn ground. There are not. You would think that everybody. You'd think that half of America were alt-right, white nationalists. The term alt-right, even. So here's, and this is funny because, okay, this apparently alt-right's the topic of the day. The Economist writes an article called Inside the Mind of Ben Shapiro, the alt-right sage without the rage. Ben Shapiro responds to them, The Economist, this is a vile lie. Not only am I not alt-right, I'm probably their leading critic from the right. I was the #1 target of their hate in 2016 online, according to Anti-Defamation League data. I demand a retraction. And he should. How does a major news magazine not know what constitutes alt-right in 2019? Ben Shapiro is a mainstream conservative commentator. He is not alt-right. Can I get an FTG for The Economist? It's FTG Thursday. Whoever wrote that article. Yeah, FTG stands for fuck that guy. Yeah, that's FTG Thursday. My God, All Pundit. How does a major news organization not know what constitutes alt-right in 2019? Bethany S. Mandel. Yes, the Orthodox Jewish guy who is the target of the vast majority of the alt-right's harassment in 2016 is total alt-right darling. Are they repurposing the term alt-right just to mean on the right? Yes, they are. Ben Shapiro, you should be ashamed of yourself for that garbage headline and description. To call yourself a journalistic outlet and then botch this one so badly is astonishing. Here's me in 2016 in WAPO ripping Trump and flirting for alt-right. By the way, I gotta cut super chats via Streamlabs. First, Thomas the Peasant before donated the LGBTQIAA PLOLWWJD mafioso want to stifle their communities. More pragmatic minds go down the rabbit hole of degeneracy and want to punish Christian bakers, but remain silent when Muslims go full anti-gay entirely and take it to the extremes. I don't think they're going to remain silent on that thing in Miramar, though. I think you're going to hear about that a lot today. That'll probably trend much higher as the day goes along. And then people will be saying, well, what's Trump going to do about it? You know, that's what's going to happen. Well, what is Trump doing about it? Maybe we should have a ban on travel from people from Miramar. I don't know. But, you know, then they'll say, well, you're doing a Muslim ban. There's no Muslim ban. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Your peasant, C. Thomas. And then he did another super chat for $2 under the Streamlabs banner. How can a Jew be the sage for neo-Nazis? Easy. Just do no research and go with that. What Twitter SJWs say about Ben Shapiro. Exactly. Ben Shapiro is not alt-right, people. There are conservatives who are not alt-right. Now, that alt-right label got really confusing in the 2015, 2016 time, right? Because no one really knew what the term meant. So a lot of it thought more just people who are the alt-tech, right? You know, the technology, the meme people, but then realizing that some people considered it being, well, some were just thought, you know, nationalists. Nationalist is not the dirty term, but when you say white nationalists, you want to put a white ethno-state. Then the white ethno-staters, nationalist type people wanted to start, you know, that was their banner, and people were like, no. I don't want to be a part of any of that shit, you know? And I think, you know, so Ben Shapiro is the same as the dickheads in Charlottesville who is saying Jews will not replace us. Is that what The Economist is saying? Or are they just using alt-right as any blanket term for someone who's a conservative? FTG. No one has been attacked by the alt-right more than Ben Shapiro. No one has fought against the alt-right more than Ben Shapiro. This is not journalism. This is garbage. So that's why the alt-right is trending, not because of the New York Times article, which was also the article headline on that one was just insane. Oh, Seth Aim, great. This is Seth Mandel. I'm sorry. The prominent Orthodox Jew who was the number one target of the alt-right Nazis is an alt-right Nazi, according to The Economist, offering a fascinating window into the magazine's glorification of its own ignorance. Okay, a lot of people are pissed off about this. Now, clearly, most people are right. I'm wondering if there's any lefties. Oh, and then this other article from the New York Times. There's a reason video games are such fertile ground for white nationalist recruitment. Fuck you. They are not. There's not enough of these people around. They're trying to make it sound like, should I, as an American of African descent, be concerned about the white supremacists and white nationalists. They make it sound like I should be afraid to go out of my house because these white nationalists and white supremacists are waiting outside the door to run me over in a Dodge Challenger. I'm going to live my life not being scared of these motherfuckers because there's not that many of them. Richard Spencer, if he decided to have a convention, couldn't fill a conference room in a New Jersey Howard Johnson's. Do they even have Howard Johnson's hotels anymore? I don't know. Okay, the Hoboken Marriott. He couldn't fill a small conference room in the hotel in a damn Marriott. Remember when Trump got elected and they had that, you know, he had rented some little conference room and he had probably had a couple hundred chairs in there, and the guys were, Heil, Sieg Heil, dumb motherfuckers. He couldn't even fill that room. The 250 to 600 knuckleheads in Charlottesville carrying torches the day before the rally for to preserve the statues. Really? In a country of 350 million people? Are you kidding me? Fortnite, fertile ground for white nationalist recruitment. Kiss my ass. Good God. Again, a respectable publication, this time the New York Times, last time NPR, is claiming off little or no real evidence that white supremacist recruiters are seeking out gamers and dropping into these games with the purpose of bringing them to their hate cause. I don't play Fortnite. My son does, though. Should I be worried that my son is going to become a white nationalist because he plays Fortnite? I doubt it. Good God, these people are stupid. New York Times' opinion is trash, but I want to make this very clear again. This recruitment is certainly a possibility, and the billion dollar gaming industry does not need more defenders. However, there is no good evidence for this happening on any real scale. Yeah, this is the NPR fucking article, I swore again. Every 2 to 3 months. Yeah, how does this specific story keep popping up every 2 to 3 months in different places? Are they taking turns with it? Yeah, they kind of are. And also, people are still freaked out about Gamergate, which I wish I only know about Gamergate basically because the people who talk about it on the internet, it's all stupid to me. This is just ridiculous. So anyway, that's why alt-right is trending. Mostly because people are pissed off about the article about Ben Shapiro. Oh, geez. Here we go. Let's talk about the wisdom of Anita Sarkeesian. Oh, good, because there you go. Maybe I think she might actually have a good point here. At least the first words I'm reading. Okay? And that maybe if we stop using this term, then people like Ben Shapiro won't be accused of it. She says, how about we stop using the kitschy, almost cute term alt-right that was popularized by the neo-Nazi Richard Spencer to describe fascists, white supremacists, anti-Semites, racists, Islamophobes, and xenophobes. Stop sanitizing hate with cute words and just call it what it is. Good, because then you would not be able to call Ben Shapiro alt-right. Because he's not a fascist, white supremacist, anti-Semite, racist, Islamophobe, or a xenophobe. She continues, I never liked the term to begin with. But I nearly fell out of a chair when I learned that Richard Spencer popularized it, and we were all like, cool, let's globally adopt this nice sanitized term that helps soften branding issues that Nazis were having. Cool. Good Lord, I actually kind of agree with her. Because then you can stop accusing people who are not those things of being those things. And I see it constantly. it drives me up the freaking wall. Super chat from Your Peasant C. Thomas, $2 super chat on the Streamlabs. If you want to do that, that's down below. The establishment left are going to be backwards to the 90s. What now? Can't hear about Satan and Columbine all over again. Oh, yeah, because they used to blame they tried to blame Columbine on music by Marilyn Manson, or blaming it on just shit that has nothing to do with why things happen. All over again. Fuck the left and their dishonest fuckery. They are no better than the 1980s evangelists. Pure cancer. Yeah, it's amazing how the culture warriors of today mimic the culture warriors of the late 80s and early 90s, aka the Christian right. And the evangelical right, but even like the Tipper Gores of the world, who wanted to ban some music, and then they got the parental advisory warnings on music because Tipper Gore was and she's a Democrat, but she was that she was basically the Christian right. Let's see, a couple people. Oh, and then Cat Black. Okay, I have mixed feelings about this because on one hand, I think their ideologues are functionally the same. On the other hand, I know there are Nazis who try to sell that they are Nazis, and people who have white nationalist ideologies who very much do not agree with Nazism. Not white nationalist ideologies, nationalist ideologies. Anyway, it's been also become it's not a useful umbrella term to refer to them. So you can just fuck right off. Granted, the Venn diagram of racist, sexist, Islamophones, homophobes looks a lot like a circle, but it's still useful at capturing the essence of it. Kiss my ass. God, I think hell just froze over. Someone check hell for me, please, because I did just agree with Anita Sarkeesian. Stop. If you want to describe something, describe what you're describing, because Ben Shapiro does not fit that term. Good God. Pope Hat. So the Economist headline is unserious. Whatever else he is, Ben Shapiro isn't alt-right, unless that term means whatever you want it to mean. However, the article itself isn't plausibly defamatory and unoppressed by the threat of libel tourism. Well, libel tourism. Yeah, I get it. I get what he's saying there, because Ben's anyone know a good solicitor and is an attorney in the UK. So today we learned that Ben Shapiro is alt-right despite being a constant target of the alt-right, and the National Socialist Party wasn't socialist despite the word being in their name. Hot Take Thursday. Oh, he's responding to an article. Adolf Hitler was a socialist. There's really good arguments for both, that he was a socialist and he was not a socialist, but his economic policies were clearly socialist, but people don't want to hear that because his government control of the economy and things like that were absolutely socialist. But socialist is supposed to mean the good people now, so you can't call Hitler a socialist. There's a lot of let's talk about some fuckery. All right, I got to be done pretty. In fact, I'm almost out of time here, so we'll do a couple more. What national holiday? There's no national holiday today. Oh, today should be a national holiday, opening day of baseball. Yeah, we're not doing that, but that's funny. The Economist is also trending more so, I'm sure, because of Ben Shapiro than anything else. Yeah. The Economist is probably more mentions of The Economist today than they've had in a very long time. If you're someone who comes back to your computer and you have mentions up the butthole, that would be The Economist today. They're going to take a big hit. Adam Schiff. Oh, gosh. Let's see. Representative Schiff blasts GOP call for resignation with exhaustive list of Trump-Russia ties. Well, that's just great, Adam Schiff. But, I got to tell you, brother, I believe that Robert Mueller, who had did 2,000 inquiries, 500 people interviewed, and did the whole investigative thing using FBI and federal prosecutor resources that said there was no collusion. I'm just saying, Schiff, Trump-Russia ties mean nothing to me right now. Let's see this though. I'm if there's no more indictments, that means there's nobody doing whatever he says you're doing. So later, C. Thomas, thank you for being here today. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for the multiple super chats today. I really appreciate you, brother. All right. Okay, let's see. Adam Schiff, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, fired back at Republicans on the committee who signed a letter Thursday calling on him to resign. Representative Mike Conway, Republican Texas, led the charge against Schiff, saying in a televised hearing Thursday morning that Republicans have no faith in the chairman's ability to discharge his duties and urge his resignation. Schiff responded by comparing his colleagues' criticisms to President Donald Trump's attacks. He then embarked on a lengthy speech listing all the ties between President Donald Trump, his campaign, and Russian interference in the 2016 election, including Trump Tower meeting, Paul Manafort's ties to the oligarchs, Roger Stone's ties to WikiLeaks, Jared Kushner's attempts to establish a back channel with Russia. You know what, Schiff? Here's the thing. I'm going to guess that the Mueller report, when it's released in full, probably mention a few of those things and say, you know what, Schiff, you were, in fact, it was Adam Schiff. It was Adam Schiff who said that we have concrete evidence that the president, Donald Trump, his candidate Donald Trump, they have concrete proof that the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians to affect the United States election. You said that 2 years ago, that you have concrete proof. Now, my thoughts are that if you, in fact, had concrete proof, Representative Schiff, you probably should have given that to the special prosecutor named Robert Mueller. And then maybe instead of there being no more indictments in that entire 2-year exhaustive investigation, there would be more indictments, because I know that Trump couldn't have done it by himself. He couldn't have had his own little red phone in Trump Tower that he just hit the button and it went straight to Vladimir Putin, and couldn't have negotiated and gotten all that stuff done by himself. You'd think there would be an exhaustive list of people who were involved in that, that conspiracy. I wonder if he got banned from YouTube and Twitter for peddling conspiracy theories. Anyway, he would have, there'd be dozens of people, because no one could do that by themselves. There would be dozens of people indicted, and there'd probably be a sealed indictment for President Trump right now. But the Mueller report says there's no more indictments. And in fact, the people who were indicted, except the fake Russian troll farm guys and some Russian generals that are never going to go to trial anyway, that was a dog and pony show. The people who were indicted, and the ones who, of the few that have been convicted, not one of those people, not a single one. Is there one? No, none. Not a single one was charged with anything related to collusion with the Russians. Not one. There's some process crimes, the making false statements. Yes, that's not good. And then Paul Manafort, all his thing. In fact, Paul Manafort, his crimes were from before he was ever part of the Trump campaign. His crimes were from 10 years ago. And then the one that had something about with a foreign country was his failure to register as a foreign agent for Ukraine back when he was working for Tony Podesta. Tony Podesta is John Podesta's brother, who was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager. So that had nothing to do with Trump and Russia. Schiff, what do Trump-Russia ties have to do? You mean, yeah, okay, so Trump at one time was trying to build a building in Russia, and that kind of fell through. Okay, he has those ties. And then as president, obviously he has to deal with Russia as basically the top diplomat of the United States. That's, that he doesn't appoint himself. You have this exhaustive list that it doesn't mean anything, Representative Schiff. But you can keep trying. Go ahead, please. I urge you and the Democrats for the next 2 years to spend take every committee and spend all your time investigating the president. That's fine, because the more you do that, the less you do the other stuff you're supposed to do. And I kind of think maybe I'm gonna get an echo. I'm thinking maybe I feel like if you do that, people will notice that you guys aren't doing anything. And when you do nothing, whatever. Is there an echo in I hear echo, but I don't know what the echo in what. You guys can tell me later. Anyway. All right, so back. All right, that you know what? I think I'm gonna end that on that today. I wish I had a happy article and I had time to do that. Am I echoing really bad all of a sudden? Did something happen? Did my hello, low, 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 low? Is that happening again? Hang on. Did my hello, low, 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 low? No, it's fine. Okay, I got it. Anyway. All right. I was gonna do one. Oh, I see what you're saying. People stop chatting. I gotcha. I was gonna do headlines today. I have one good headline that we can do, and then I can get out of here. Quotes of the day. I had a couple, but I think this might be the one. Hang on. This is great. Okay, this is how I'm going to end the show. Nope, I'm going to oh, by the way, I was going to tell you that. I stayed away from Jussie today on purpose because I'm going to talk about Jussie. I might do a stream this afternoon, but definitely I'm going to talk about Jussie tomorrow. But still, give me another FTG for Jussie, everybody. Give me one FTG for Jussie. And then I found some humor in this though. This is good. This is what I'm going to finish on today. Trump is considering this year's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh, I can't. This would be awesome. An exuberant President Trump is considering attending the White House Correspondents Association dinner, which he boycotted the last 2 years. The state of play. Nothing has been decided yet, but we're hearing Trump hasn't said no to speaking at the April 27th dinner. Yesterday's post-Mueller trip to Capitol Hill was being called a victory lap, and this could be his next stop. But it isn't clear how serious he is about going. Historian Ron Chernow is the featured speaker. The association isn't having an entertainer this year. Oh, they haven't had an entertainer for the last 10 years. Come on. It goes without saying it could be awkward for both sides. After Attorney General Bill Barr's account of the Mueller report, Trump has amped up his attacks on the media, tweeting, "The mainstream media is under fire and being scorned all over the world as being corrupt and fake. For 2 years, they pushed the Russian collusion delusion when they always knew there was no collusion. They truly are the enemy of the people and the real opposition party." Oh, I can't. I want to play this again. I'm gonna play it without the music. Let me put some music in the background. This is we're gonna just because. No, leave the music off because the Pesha Warrior Trump is hilarious. Oh, it's come on, focus. Okay, it's not focusing. I'm sorry. Oh, there it goes. This was so funny. Whoever did this is brilliant. I mean, it's amazing whoever did this. I mean, how they got the continuity on it, I have no idea. That was awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna kick it out with a little mood music in the background and have some fun. I have to thank you all for being here today and every day on the Morning Night Live. I can't function without you. It's great to have you here. Make sure you're telling your friends and other people in other streams to join us when we're here. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. You can also catch me occasionally on some other streams. Sometimes we go on Bear's morning stream or Lucky in the morning or Lord's of the night. But also I do occasional streams just randomly. So if you want to make sure you know about those streams, why am I doing that? Okay. If you want to know about some of our more random streams, we will make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell. You will be notified. I usually tweet when I do those too. So if you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, I'm right here. Whoops, this hand. I'm right here at PDogNight. If you want to send me things, my DMs are open. I also have email pdognight@gmail.com. This is sick. Oh, you just made it. You'll have to watch the replay. We did some, it was FTG Friday. Wait, Saturday, Thursday. What's the date? It's Thursday. FTG Thursday. You'll just have to find out what that is. Anyway, it's been great having you all here today. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back just like every day. Thank you. My name is PDogNight, and I am out of here. Hey, this is PDogNight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the PDogNight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDogNight, and I'm out of here.